Drake Dabney at tight end. How's life treating you, man? Welcome to Dallas.
Great. I mean, it's an honor to be here. It's best stadium in the world. I guess I'm a little biased. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, but it's just great to be here around a lot of great guys.
Wow. Are you really? So you're a Cowboy fan. I mean, we're sitting in the end zone. That's kind of got to be cool.
Yeah, I know. It's definitely a surreal feeling. I mean, being able to play here 2 years ago was great. And just, always good when you can be in this building for sure.
How did you end up at Baylor, and what is your experience been like?
So I got to Baylor in 2020. I committed when Matt Rule was still head coach, and then kind of the transition with Coach Aranda my freshman year. So it was his first year, and I mean, it's been a lot of up and downs, but it's definitely been a blessing. I feel like I've grown as a person, as a man, on and off the field, and just the people that have come in. I think it's just all God. I feel like I'm surrounded by great people each and every day, and having just Coach Grimes in my life, and
good old Grimy, huh?
Coach Grimes, just with his offense and the scheme, and how he uses the tight end. I feel like it's definitely a blessing.
How have the Barringtons been? Is obviously that's a huge loss for BYU. But Coach Grimes is a guy that has that relationship and was able to get. I mean, Clark is a really solid performer. Like, how has that been? Building through the portal, and I mean, they're going to help you offensive line. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Clark and Campbell have both been great. I think they've been nothing but positive energy. I think they bring a lot of experience to the table, and what we have as a young group and a young O-line. So excited to see what those guys can do. I'm glad to be able to go out and work with them every day, and I think they've just been great. We were able to play golf last weekend, so they're always. I mean, they get along with everyone, and just great to have around.
How's your golf game? Like, what are you? Are you a driver? Are you an iron guy? Like,
depends on the day. Honestly, I mean, I shoot maybe low 90s on a good day.
Nice.
I've been playing for about a year now, so I mean, it's just a
Do you love it?
Hobby. Yeah, I mean, for a point in time, I was probably going like every weekend.
Love it.
Playing with guys on the team and stuff. So we all that's a way for us to kind of get together and go out and bond with each other, and it's a little fun competition. But yeah, definitely, there's always ways to improve in your golf game. You may be on one day. It's always that one good shot that keeps you coming back. So yeah.
Yeah, we golf all the time. I'm a PXG guy, and I golf every weekend, and I'm still in the low 90s.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough.
But isn't it funny though? Golf is one of those sports where it works on your mental toughness.
Oh yeah, definitely. It teaches you patience, and you can't get mad at anyone else except for yourself. So
you can get mad at the golf ball. Trust me.
Yeah, but you definitely just. There's always something to improve on, just like football or just life in general. So yeah.
Yep. Blake Shapen takes a lot of heat. That's a guy that a lot of people talk about. And I'm curious your thoughts on, your offense, your thoughts on, like, were you, what was last year to you guys? Were you as good as you thought you could be? Like, take me through that, and then where are you now?
I think last year was definitely a learning experience for a lot of us. I mean, coming off of a Big 12 championship the year before, I think we may have put like too many expectations, or the pressure may have got to us and just kind of caused just some little friction. But I think this year we've really tried to just get back to us and back to the basics and back to what being a Baylor Bear is, and just stick it to our standard. And I think we've had a lot of great leaders emerge and kind of just holding each other accountable, and we've made great strides throughout the spring and just this whole offseason. So I think we got all the right pieces in place and all the talent to be able to do what we need to do and go out and win every single game.
Yep, talking to Drake Dabney from Baylor on the Monty Show, presented by BladeHQ.com. You talk about spring ball, and I think spring ball is vastly underrated. I think that period of time, because you correct me if I'm wrong, but the teams I've been around, you form a lot of really important relationships. You really set yourself up for a successful or not successful summer. How important was spring ball for you guys?
I mean, spring ball was super important. I know we had new guys. We mentioned Clark and Campbell earlier, come in the portal. Jake Roberts, another tight end. So just being able to get out on the field and just kind of make each other better each and every day. I think we definitely took big strides in the spring as an offense and a defense. So just having that opportunity to go out there every day and compete is definitely huge, and I think it will definitely help us build momentum going into this season.
How are you physically? I know that obviously last year ended before you want it to end, but I mean, how are you feeling physically? How was your rehab for you?
Yeah, I've been doing great physically. I feel like I'm completely back to being better than ever. I know last year didn't end how I wanted to, but I mean, just mentally and physically, it was tough. But I think I had a great support system, great trainers, and just family and friends that just helped me to be able to make a comeback, and spring ball went well, and just recovery went smooth. So yeah, I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, well, enjoy Baylor. I know you guys have a lot of expectations, man, like that, and expectations aren't necessarily a bad thing, but I mean, this is one of those seasons where I feel like you really should you should be a leader. You should have a breakout year. Like your experience should really teach a lot of these guys down the line from you how to deal with those expectations.
Yeah,
I would think anyway.
Yeah, I mean, this being my 4th year here, I think I definitely can kind of show some young guys the ropes, and I've seen what it looks like and what it doesn't look like, and I think yeah, and just like I mean, everyone's gonna have expectations. We have expectations for ourselves, but I think as long as we can kind of compress that, just take it week by week, and just have that 1-0 mentality that we're just gonna win each game, each week, and just kind of stick together. I think the sky's the limit, and this team can definitely do great things for sure.
By the way, I like your kicks. I'm a big shoe guy, so
thank you.
They absolutely. Yeah. What are you wearing?
I just got these, are just some Ferragamo.
Oh, just some Ferragamos, you know.
Just something light.
Just something you threw on today. Some Ferragamos, my guy. Nice to meet you. Stay healthy, man. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
There you go. Big year coming for Baylor. And you know what? I think what Drake said there about, you know, teaching guys, I know, you know, right from wrong. I've seen it, not seen it. Like, I think that is a really important thing on a team like Baylor, who I think is trying to achieve something more and clearly has expectations. I mean, you heard him talk about Grimes. You heard him talk about the Barringtons. Like, they really got into the transfer portal. They really got after it. I think it's critically important that this Baylor team, especially with their schedule, Baylor's got to get off to a really good start.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I think that you know, Baylor is a team that can really overachieve. I think they're that team that everyone's saying, oh, well, you know, you guys were, you know, mediocre. Maybe the year before that you weren't very good. But this year I feel like you know, can be a program that overachieves. Now, you know, some of your guys are really going to have to step up, but I think it's possible. It's well within the opportunity.
On Baylor's schedule, home games with Utah and Texas Tech. Obviously the Houston game. Road games, UCF, Cincinnati, K-State, and TCU. I mean, that is a difficult schedule, man.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying that Baylor's not capable, but I don't know how anybody successfully navigates all those landmines, right? Like, that is really tough. And I think it's going to be interesting. Again, we've been talking all day long about you know, the quarterbacks in this league. The Blake Shapen situation at Baylor is a big deal. I mean, Blake Shapen's a guy that, and that's just me, but Blake Shapen's a guy that I think is going to have to get himself to 300 yards a game. If this is going to be a dink and dunk offense that puts so much more pressure on an offensive line at Baylor, that I think is going to have to grow chemistry, and they're going to have to find a way to come together. That's why I asked Drake about spring ball, because I think when you have a lot of transfer portal, and spring is one of those times where you really spend time together and you're trying to figure out who's what, and hey, I like this guy. You know, hey, I'm friends with this guy. I'm going to room with this guy. I'm going to golf with this guy. Like, spring ball is really important, especially for an offensive line.